Hello everybody, this is Clayton again, coming back with a new video. Saturday the 29th. Unfortunately, we have some bad news that I want to get into, and I also want to get into stocks that I'm actually putting more money into and other stocks that I'm looking at maybe jumping on in the near future. But I'll go over all that in this video. First off, as always, I'm showing my portfolio. I want to be very open with you guys and show you when it's doing good and when it's doing bad. And obviously, you see with the gains, we're down $134.81. It's about 9% of the portfolio. But we've got $10.20 of earned dividends coming in. So as a dividend investor, that's always great to see. These gains are negative, obviously, but they don't impact anything on my end. They're not something I'm selling anytime soon. As I said in the last video, it's like owning a house. Yeah, the value of the stock has gone down now, but I'm not intending on selling it anytime soon. So the value of it currently doesn't really mean much. What matters to me is that dividends either continue to be paid as they are or continue to increase. Now, if those start getting cut, that's a whole different situation and a different story. That's when I'll step back in and look at these companies and see why they're cutting them and potentially sell these companies as they are. But from what I've read and what I've seen, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon for these companies. Possibly Carnival, I'll go into that because obviously they've been getting a huge decline with this coronavirus. But before I dive into my portfolio and what I want to pick up and what I want to watch, obviously, as many probably read today, the health officials in Washington State said that sadly, today, Saturday, a patient has finally passed away from the coronavirus in the United States. Unfortunately, this is something that I think everyone kind of expected to happen at some point or another. I hate that it had happened. It's a disease that we still don't really know what's going on. As everyone has seen, the market has plummeted from this. It's still in correction territory. This isn't a crash yet. And I don't think anybody really should be panicking, especially as a dividend investor. I can't say this enough. As a dividend investor, do not panic on this. If anything, it's a time where you can start to put money back into the market and pick up some stocks that are cheap. And I'll go into that later. But just in less than 2 weeks, I know we hit the high at 29,348. It was on I think the 19th or 20th is when we hit. That was a Wednesday, so the 19th. And then by the end of Friday, which was yesterday, the 28th. So within 9 days, or what's that, 5 days trading, 7 days trading, it finished at 25,409. So that's about a 12% decrease. It got all the way down to 24,682, but kind of had a big bounce back at the end of the trading window on Friday. So that's a good thing. It was kind of increasing, but it's still a pretty significant drop from what we've seen. And during one of those days, it had the farthest points drop in the history of the market. Obviously, as the market percentages, or as it increases, the percentage wasn't as large, but the points were, because it's a bigger market and there's just more availability for those points to fall. Besides that, though, this is the worst decline that we've had since 2008, and anybody that's in the market knows this. But again, do not panic. And I just wanted to kind of touch upon the person that did pass away today. I don't know much about them. I've tried to find some information. I can't really find anything. They've kept it kind of private, which I respect. If it was my family, I'd kind of want the same thing. But I hope her family, or it's a man, I apologize. I hope his family is given space, respected, and is given a lot of time to grieve on this. And I really hope that this can be fixed in the United States and contained to the best of our abilities. The problem with this person that passed away, though, the markets Monday will probably take a huge hit again. Don't be shocked. Obviously, I'm not a stock professional. I'm not going to try to predict the future. Realistically, nobody can predict the future, but it wouldn't shock me if stocks continue to fall. I thought they were going to anyways, just by how the market was behaving, but I think this will just be another reason for them to continue to decline. Now, with that said, I want to focus a lot of this video on stocks that I'm interested in picking up right now and in the near future, because people have asked me, or people have seen a portfolio and said, basically, what are you looking at? What sounds good to you? And this is what the easiest way I'm going to explain this is, ones that look good to me are ones that I'm already purchased and in. I threw $100 in my account the other day because I wanted to pick up Disney, Coca-Cola, AT&T, Carnival specifically, and Wells Fargo. Now, because Carnival, when I bought it, I think was $30.98, $30.99 at the time. So the main reason why I say I'm going to buy the ones that I continue to stick with and purchase them more as of right now, as their value is going down, because I purchased them when they were higher up in the market. So when I bought Carnival before, it was at $43.58. Right now, Carnival is sitting at $33.46. That's a $10 drop off in a very short time. And this is a stock that I think going forward, yes, it may struggle for the next year, 2 years, but Carnival's not going out of business anytime soon. And the cruise lines, to me, is one that continues to grow as they've become more and more accessible for the younger generation, myself included. You've seen on these Carnival cruise lines and other ones in the region as well, they've basically got water parks built in. Some have roller coasters, nightclubs, you name it, they've got it. And they're working to bring in a younger crowd because older crowds tend to like it because it's an easy way to vacation. I've showed this in the past when they were talking to people that have the coronavirus or that are quarantined. They said they'll of course come back on the cruise ships and there'll be no problems. But that's why, to me, I think Carnival's a great pickup. I don't know if others agree with me, but that's something I really like. But I wanted to show some of the stocks I bought back before. So Coke was at 58.62 when I bought it previously. Right now it's at 53.49. Not much of a difference. $5. It's still $5 though. Let's not cut that short. Disney, when I purchased it earlier, was at 140.92. It's all the way down to 117. That's another one that I'm definitely going to be putting money into to pick up. And then the same goes for pretty much everything in my portfolio. There's nothing in my portfolio that I'm afraid to pick up more stocks on. I picked those stocks when I did because of the research that I had done and to the future that I saw coming with those stocks. Yes, they hit bumps in the road. They're always going to hit bumps in the road. There's going to be times like this. This isn't the first time and it won't be the last time. My intention isn't to sell these stocks in 5 to 10 years. So I'll almost guarantee before I sell these stocks decades from now, this is going to happen again and again. Maybe, if not 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 times in my lifetime, I'm going to see these stocks plummet as they have. That doesn't worry me. Again, focusing on dividends, letting those dividends reinvest, and the end goal is for me to be able to live or at least pay off some of my bills using my dividend income. Essentially, it's another form of passive income that I'm going to use. So to me, those are the reasons why every stock I've invested in, I am 100% behind picking up even more of. Now, again, if they cut the dividends, different story. I'll look into see why they cut them. I'm not necessarily going to sell a company just because they cut dividends. I'm expecting almost everyone's revenues to be down after the first quarter because of this, because you're seeing a lot of people saying they're not going to hit their goals, be it Apple or you name a company, and they're in that window. So if that's the reason why they cut it, I may keep it a little bit longer to see once they start to bounce back if they bring it back up. But I'm not going anywhere on these stocks. I trust all of them that I picked. I did a lot of research on them, and I really feel comfortable with everything I've got. With that being said, though, there are a few other stocks that I wanted to look at that I currently do not have in my portfolio. And I had looked at previously, and I actually made a video on this before. Microsoft is one. So Microsoft, to me, like I said, was a dividend that was just too low for me. And currently still is. Though for many people that are investing, this is a great stock if you are, I'll say if you're not a dividend investor. Some dividend investors really like this as well. But for me, I think this isn't a good stock at the price it's valued. If this continues to fall, I'm picking it up in a heartbeat. If it hits 2%, I'll probably grab it right away. And I know that's a lot of loss for Microsoft. But Microsoft is one of those companies that I don't think is going anywhere for a long, long time. And I expect the growth to be ridiculous for them in the near future. But because I'm not selling this stock at all anytime soon, the dividend yield just doesn't interest me enough for me to grab them and hold on to them. Those who would like to definitely understand why you would. It's just something for me that doesn't really pique my interest currently. Now, if it continues to fall, I'll be on Microsoft in a heartbeat because I think this is one of the safest stocks you can have going into the future. Another one that I was looking at a few months ago, but I went with Wells Fargo instead, is Chase. And Chase may be something that I'm actually going to pick up now. They're down. Let me see. I know they're at 116 now. Where were they? I think they were like 135. Yeah, 137. So they've dropped $22, $21, and their yield's now sitting at 3.1. This is another one of those companies that I think will be completely safe going forward, just as I did with Wells Fargo. And that's why I'm probably going to be adding Chase to my portfolio this week coming up. I'm going to see what the market does. If the market continues to drop, I may wait a little bit on Chase because they're not one that I jumped. Anything that I was grabbing while they were at their highest is something I'm obviously going to pick up and add more to my portfolio as it falls. Now there's ones that I'm starting to watch and monitor as they fall, that once they hit a certain threshold, I'm definitely going to pick up, but they're not ones that I'm going to jump in and grab right away. And another one that's like that, and this may be controversial to some people, is Ford. I know Ford has been struggling for a minute now. It's been a while, and their stock's now down to $6.96. Yes, the dividend yield is $8.62. Usually, dividend yields that high can be very sketchy to me. I'm not a big fan of ones that are that high. I know people love those. Payout ratios of 57%. But Ford, to me, is a producer of vehicles that I think will turn it around. And they've shown in their past, if you look at their history, they haven't really cut dividends at all. They've kind of stayed constant. They had a little bit of a raise, but they've stayed around 15 cents. And let me go there all time. Let's see. The last time they cut was back in 06. They did cut down about 50% of their dividends. So they have done it once in the past. But to me, especially with how Ford's been over the last 4 or 5 years, they've been struggling. And they have not cut their dividends while struggling. So I don't see that being a problem, especially with the stock being at 960. Let me see. Let's go to their stock pricing. You can see literally from 2016. Let's even go to 10 year. You can go to their peak of 14. They were at $15, $16, and now they're all the way down to $6. So they've lost quite a lot in the last, 6 years. But they're another company that I'm probably going to be adding to my portfolio. I'm not going to go heavy into Ford at all by any means, but they're definitely something I want to pick up and monitor and kind of hold on to my portfolio because I think they will turn it around and grow. They may not. They're not one I'm as confident for. I'm still confident in the ones that I've got: Wells Fargo, Carnival, AT&T, Disney, specifically Disney. Disney I was buying as more of a stock I wanted to hold because I'm a big Disney fan. And I know you never want to do that as an investor, but Disney to me is just a company that in my wildest dreams, I couldn't see them falling off. It's just something to me that it would shock me if they ever fell off. They've got too many branches in too many different aspects of the industry when it comes to theme parks, memorabilia, movies, TV, like you name it, streaming service, you name it. They're all over the place. And I just can't see Disney failing. Yes, the coronavirus is beating the Jesus out of them. When you see they're having to close park after park after park, which, if I'm not mistaken, makes up about 30% of their revenue. So their revenue is definitely going to fall, and I won't be shocked if their stock falls. They may even cut their dividends soon. And if they do, obviously that's not something I'm going to enjoy, but I won't be getting rid of Disney. I can tell you right now, if they cut their dividends, I'm still not getting rid of Disney. There's too much growth for them in the future, and I think they're basically becoming, I wouldn't say monopoly because they're not, but they're taking over every industry because they can. They've got the money, they've got the supplies, they've got the staff to pretty much do whatever they need to do to become a leader in their industries. So to me, Disney is one that I'm going to hold on to. I'm going to put a lot more money in Disney. Like I said, AT&T, Carnival, Wells Fargo, you name what I've got, I'm putting money into it. So the main purpose of this video was just kind of introduce the ones that I have, say I'm going to continue to stick with them. There's no question in my mind that I'm sticking with the ones I've got. Let me go to my holdings. And I may not throw as much into real estate right now because I really want to focus on the consumer side. But I'm obviously going to put a little bit more into it as well, just a little more into real estate. Like 3M, IBM, things like that are ones that I'm just going to continue to put money into and let my dividend continue to grow. So for anyone that's panicking or freaking out, I completely understand it, especially if it's your first time really investing. I can see why when you see a loss in your, just in general, money you've put money in, you've put $16,000 in, you've lost $2,000, you've lost $1,000. I can easily see why it would freak you out and you'd sell right away. But unless you're planning on selling in the next 2-3 years, there's no reason to rush and get rid of these stocks. That's why, as a dividend investor, this isn't something that's freaking me out. And I never would like to say that something like this is a positive because people are losing money from this, and I hate to see that. But for me personally and other people that are dividend investors that have a long-term goal, situations like this don't come around very often. And this is when it's time that you can start to build up your portfolio to make it where you're going to be a lot more comfortable in the future. And I plan on doing that slowly with the averaging. When I'm not just going to throw all my money in right now because the stock's may continue to drop. It may start to raise again, and if it starts to rise, then I'm going to continue to invest as it rises. But I'm not going to throw everything in now. I'm going to slowly just put more and more money in probably each week now. I was doing every week, but with the money being as it is, I'm willing to drain a little bit more from my savings to help this and see where it goes. I'm really excited for the future of this portfolio. I'm really excited to see what happens with the market. I really hope as a country and as a planet, we're able to corral this coronavirus before it starts to do even more damage than it's already done. It's taken a lot of lives. And yes, to people inside the United States, it doesn't seem like it's that much of a problem, but it's just really starting to get here. And I really hope we can corral it and kind of contain it, and that a vaccine can be made shortly. I've heard anywhere from 6 months to a year, sadly, but I really just hope that we can get that corralled, because I just hate to see people getting sick and losing their lives over something so serious. And we don't know where this is going, and that's really my only hope. And obviously, I know the flu takes more lives, and people talk about that all the time, but I'm not going to compare this to the flu, because the flu is still around. It's not as if the flu's disappeared. So if something else comes in that's taking lives of others, to me, that's still something that needs to be corrected, fixed, and worried about. So I really hope that the country and the world can come together and find a vaccine for this to help out everyone that's struggling. But during that time, I'm going to take advantage of the stock market falling and the panic in the stock market, and invest and continue to invest, regardless if it's declining, increasing, staying stagnant. I do not care. As a dividend investor, that's what I'm going to do. So if you can take anything from this video, I know I've been kind of rambling, is just stick to the plan. If your plan was to invest and to get your dividends up, and then in maybe 30, 40 years, then sell off your stocks and be comfortable, what happens today means nothing. And like I said last video, and like I said earlier in this, it's like a house. Somebody can be outside your house right now yelling at you, telling you what the value of your house is. Oh, it's down $1,000, down to $2,000. Are you going to freak out and sell your house, or are you just going to go, thanks, I'm just going to live here till I feel like getting rid of it? That's how you have to look at it, is do not overreact to this. Do not freak out. Obviously, a lot of people are losing money by this, but if you're a long-term investor and you've got a goal, let this ride out. It'll fix itself. It correct itself. History always shows that it does. And besides that, just stay calm. The market's probably got a little bit more to go, or maybe a lot more to go till it bottoms out. But don't stress. So, is anyone still watching? Thank you for getting this far. I would appreciate a like and a sub. I've always said in every video, and I mean it, I appreciate everyone that watches these videos. I think now I'm at 45 or 46 subscribers, which to me blows my mind. And to a lot of people watching this, they think it's 46 subscribers. Who cares? But to me, that's more than I ever thought I would ever get. I didn't really have a goal coming into this. I was just wanting to share my portfolio with anybody that would want to watch, listen, get advice. I've got Facebook groups that I interact with now that I never knew about before, people that I interact with, friends that I talk about that I never talked finance before that I'm discussing now. And it's just something I'm really enjoying. So for anyone that's been watching this, I truly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, I would love just to subscribe if you enjoy the content. Give the video a like, share it with friends, get this video out to more people. The more people that see it, the more advice I can learn. And obviously, I would be even more grateful. I've said this in every video as well. I'm not a financial advisor, so please don't take what I say as truth or gospel. Do your own research. But besides that, thank you, everybody. And I really hope you have a great rest of your day, a good weekend. Stay safe with this. Make sure you follow what they're saying. Wash your hands, stay clean, things like that. We don't know when this is going to end, but ride the wave. There's nothing to panic about. Thank you guys, and have a great rest of your day.